This is the 10th video and third video on problems on stress strain. The formulas used here are stress is equal to P upon A and sigma max is equal to P divided by A minimum. If we want stress to be maximum, then the area must be minimum, and for the area to be minimum, the diameter should be minimum. So where the bar diameter is minimum, there the cross-sectional area A will be minimum and stress in that part will be maximum. The next formula which we will be using is delta L is equal to PL upon AE, and if the bar is made up of different cross sections, then the total elongation delta L will be equal to delta L1 plus delta L2 plus delta L3. Here note one important thing, that while watching this video, be with your scientific calculators so that as you are watching the video, you can side by side do the calculations and learn to solve the problems. Now this is a bar of varying cross section. The bar is A to D. AB is having cross-sectional area A1 and length L1. For the bar BC, cross-sectional area is A2, length is L2. For the bar CD, area is A3 and length is L3. And a tensile force P is acting throughout the section from A to D. Now here this is the free body diagram for AB, where the tensile force P is acting. This is the free body diagram for the BC. Again P, the tensile force is acting. And this is the free body diagram for CD. Area is A3 and the tensile force P is acting. Now if we want to calculate the stress in the bar AB, let us call it sigma 1, then it will be P divided by area A1. The area A1 is the area of the bar AB. Similarly, if we want the stress in the bar BC, it will be called sigma 2 and it will be equal to P divided by area A2. This area A2 is for the bar BC. Now CD, stress in the bar CD, sigma 3 will be equal to P divided by A3. Now if I want sigma max, out of this sigma 1, sigma 2, sigma 3, the sigma max we will get for the area A minimum. A1, A2, A3, out of these three, whichever area is minimum, that will give us, in that part we will get the maximum stress sigma max. And for area to be minimum, the bar diameter should be minimum. Then how to calculate the deformation in the bar AB. It will be deformation in the bar will AB will be delta L1 is equal to, now we use the formula PL upon AE. So for bar AB we will consider LP is common, length L1, area A1 and modulus of elasticity E1 corresponding to the bar AB. Similarly for the BC, delta L2 will be equal to P into L2 divided by A2 into E2, where this L2, A2 and E2, they are length, area and modulus of elasticity for the part BC of the bar. Then for CD, the deformation in the bar CD will be delta L3 equal to P into L3 divided by A3 into E3. So using these formulas we will calculate the individual deformation for AB, BC and CD as delta L1, delta L2 and delta L3. Now the total deformation in bar AD will be equal to delta L, which will be equal to delta L1 plus delta L2 plus delta L3, that is deformation of AD plus deformation of bar AB plus deformation of the bar BC plus the deformation of the bar CD, and this total will give us the total deformation of the bar AD. Now here let us see one problem. A bar consisting of three lengths 180 mm, 260 mm and 160 mm having diameter 30 mm, 20 mm and 32 mm respectively. The axial force 40 kN pull is applied. Find the stresses and the total extension of the bar. Take E is equal to 2 into 10 raised to 5 Newton per mm square. Now this is the figure I have shown A, B, B, C and C, D, three parts. All three are having different lengths and different diameters, and the force P, pulling force, is P is equal to 40 kilonewton. Now stress in the part AB will be equal to sigma 1 is equal to P divided by A1. Now the force P is 40 kilonewton, so it will, in Newton, it will become 40 into 10 raised to 3. And bar diameter, the first part bar diameter is given is 30 mm. So pi divided by 4 into 30 square, this will be the area. Put the bracket in the numerator as well as put the bracket in the denominator. Now take calculators in your hand and start from here. Press bracket open, then 40, press exponential 3, bracket close, divided by bracket open, shift pi divided by 4 into 30, then press the x square button, bracket close, is equal to, and see that you get the answer 56.59 Newton per mm square. As the force P is tensile, the stress sigma 1 also will be tensile. Then how to calculate the stress in BC? Stress in BC will be equal to sigma 2 is equal to P divided by A2 is equal to, now P is common, so it will be again 40 into 10 raised to 3 in Newton, divided by area will be pi divided by 4. Now the area A2 is given here as 20, diameter is given 20, so it will be pi by 4 into 20 square. How to do the calculations? Take the calculator in your hand, bracket open, 40 exponential, that is the exp button, exponential 3, bracket close, divided by bracket open, shift pi divided by 4 into 20, then press x square button, bracket close, is equal to, you will get the answer 127.32. unit will be Newton per mm square. Again P is tensile, so the stress in BC also will be tensile. Then let us calculate the stress in CD. Sigma 3 is equal to P divided by A3. Now P is common, so 40 into 10 raised to 3 in Newton, divided by, now the third bar diameter given is 32. So it will be pi divided by 4 into 32, bracket square. Put the bracket in the numerator, put the bracket for the denominator, and start doing the calculations. Take the calculators in your hand and from bracket open, then press 40 exponential 3, bracket close, divided by bracket open, shift pi divided by 4 into 32, x square button, bracket close, is equal to, see, you get the answer 49.74 Newton per mm square tensile. This is how we calculate the stress in the bar. Now let us calculate the elongation or the deformation of the bar. Now here force is tensile, so there will be increase in length or there is extension of the bar AB. Now delta L1, we will use the formula sigma 1 into L1 divided by E. Now E is same for full length of the bar AD, so we will call it E only. Now sigma 1, take it from here, sigma 1 which we have calculated 56.59, substitute the value 56.59. Length L1, this is the first length given in the problem, 180 mm, so substitute it as 180, divided by the E given is 2 into 10 raised to 5, so 2 into 10 raised to 5. This is how you substitute the values in the formula. Put the bracket in the numerator as well as put the bracket in the denominator. Put the bracket at the top and at the bottom also. So how, take your calculators in the hand and start the calculations. Bracket open, 56.59 into 180 bracket close divided by bracket open 2 exponential 5 bracket close is equal to, check, are you getting the answer? 0.05 mm increases. Then let us calculate the extension for bar BC. Delta L2 is equal to sigma 2 into L2 divided by E. Now sigma 2 we are going to substitute from here, 127.32. Here it is 127.32. The second length given in the problem is 260. So L2 will be 260 divided by E. E is common for all, 2 into 10 raised to 5. Put the bracket at the top, that is numerator, and at the bottom that is the denominator. So take the calculators in your hand and bracket open, then 127.32 into 260 bracket close divided by bracket open 2 exponential 5 bracket close is equal to, you will get the answer in your calculator, 0.17 mm decreases. Then let us calculate the extension for the CD, that is we will call it delta L3 is equal to sigma 3 into L3 divided by E. Now sigma 3 which we have calculated here, substitute it from here, 49.74 into the length, the third length which is given here, and that is 160, substitute 160, and E is 2 into 10 raised to 5. Now take your calculators in the hand and start pressing the buttons. Bracket open, 49.74 into 160 bracket close divided by bracket open 2 exponential 5 bracket close is equal to, see, are you getting the answer? 0.04 mm. And now this is also tensile force, so there is increase in the length. Now let us calculate the total extension of the bar. The total extension of the bar is equal to delta L is equal to delta L1 plus delta L2 plus delta L3 is equal to, delta L1 is 0.05, L2 is 0.17 and L3 is 0.04. Do the addition here, 0.05 plus 0.17 plus 0.04. You will get the answer 0.26 mm. So the total extension delta L is equal to 0.26 mm. This is the answer for the total extension of the bar. Now here there is a next question. A bar of uniform cross section is subjected to an axial pull as shown in figure. Find the total change in length of bar. Take E is equal to 2 into 10 raised to 5 Newton per mm square and area A is equal to 1000 mm square. Now here area A is constant from A to D. And now the forces are different as shown in figure. What we do is, first we draw the three blocks AB, BC and CD, and we individually we will show the forces. Now force here acting at A given is 50 kilonewton tensile. So let us show that force here. It is 50 kilonewton tensile. Now the bar AB is in equilibrium. So for this bar to be in equilibrium, here also a 50 kilonewton force must act, and it has to act away from the point tensile force. So here I'll show the 50 kilonewton force. Now when a 50 kilonewton force here acts at B like this, then only this 50 and this 50, they will balance each other. Sigma Fx will become 0 and bar AB will be in equilibrium. So this is the free body diagram for the AB. Now at cross section B in the given problem, the force is 80 kilonewton. Out of that 50 we have shown here. Now 30 is balance. This force 50 is acting in the positive x direction and this is 80. So I have to show here a force which is 30 kilonewton. 80 minus 50 will give me 30. So this is a force at B which is 30. Now this 30 plus 50 total in the x direction, the force is 80 kilonewton. This is also in x direction, this is also in positive x direction. So 50 plus 30 totally with the force at B is 80. This is how we balance it. Now this is 30 kilonewton which is acting at B here is a pushing force. So if I want here to balance this force, then here also a 30 kilonewton force must act pushing, then only BC will be in equilibrium. So at C I will show a pushing force and the magnitude will be 30 kilonewton. Now this 30 and this 30 they balance each other and BC will be in equilibrium. Now here the force 10 kilonewton is already given at D. We will show that force as it is. So here the force 10 kilonewton is acting. Now again this is a pushing force, and for this body to be in equilibrium, here also a 10 kilonewton force pushing must act. So here a force 10 kilonewton will act. So this 10 and 10 they will balance each other and CD will be in equilibrium. Now see here, this 10 is acting in positive x direction, this 30 is acting in negative x direction. So this is plus 10 and this is minus 30. So 10 minus 30 will give me 20 and it will be minus 20. That means the force will act in the negative x direction. So it is 20 here. So this figure is matching here. It means the free body diagram which we have drawn is correct. This is how you first draw the free body diagram for the AB, BC and CD, and you have to see that if this is 50 tensile here also 50 tensile, here this is 30 compressive, here also this is 30 compressive, here it is 10 compressive and here also it is 10 compressive or pushing force. So this is how they must balance, this figure and this figure, they must balance each other and the arrows in opposite direction. Then only sigma fx becomes 0 and the body is in equilibrium. Now if we want to do the calculations, then at B, now this is 50, the given force is 80. These two forces at B, this force at B and for AB and this force at B for BC, these two combined should give us this value 80. So this, if I call it 50 and if I call this force as x, then 50 plus x must give me 80, which is given here at the top. So this will give me x is equal to 30 kilonewton. If you want to write the calculations, you have to write it like this: 50 plus x is equal to 80. So x is equal to 30 kilonewton here at this B. Now here when we do the calculations, suppose now I know this 30 and this I call it x. Okay, so this 30 is in negative x direction, so this is minus 30 and plus x is equal to, this figure given is minus 20. So minus 20. So when this 30 comes here, it will become plus 30. So minus 20 plus 30, this becomes x is equal to plus 10. Plus 10 means this force is acting in this direction, in the positive x direction. So this force here is acting in the positive x direction. Here also x is equal to 30. This value is positive. That means this 30 kilonewton will act in positive x direction. So here also this 30 is acting in positive x direction. So these are the calculations. If you want to write, if you have the time, you can write these calculations, or if you can solve the problem here itself as I have drawn the free body diagram, still it is okay. Now let us calculate the elongation. What we want to find out is total change in the length of the bar. So let us first calculate for the bar AB, what is the extension delta L1. Change in length of bar AB, delta L1 is equal to P in P1 into L1 divided by AE. Now here P is not common. P for each figure is different. So for AB, I am calling it P1, length L1. A and E are common. E is this and A is 1000. Substitute a value P. P1 is 50 kilonewton. So 50 into 10 raised to 3. Convert it into Newton. P1. Length given for AB is 600 mm. So L1 is into 600 divided by area given is 1000 into E given is 2 into 10 raised to 5. Put the bracket in the numerator and the denominator and take your calculators in your hand. Start the calculations from here. Bracket open, 50 exponential 3 into 600 bracket close divided by bracket open 1000 into 2 exponential 5 bracket close is equal to. See that here you get the answer 0.15 mm, and now this is a tensile force, pulling force, so there will be increase in length delta L1. So in the bracket write down increases. Then let us come to bar BC. For the bar BC, delta L2 will be equal to P2 into L2 divided by AE. Now P2 is this force. Now on the BC, the force acting is 30 kilonewton. So 30 into 10 raised to 3. Now this is a pushing force. Okay, so it is a pushing force, and now the length here given for the BC is 1000. So 30 exponential 3 means I'm converting it into Newton. Then 1000 is the length L2 divided by area. Area is 1000. E is 2 into 10 raised to 5. These are the values which you have to substitute here. Now take your calculators in your hand and start doing the calculations from here. Bracket open, 30 exponential 3 into 1000 bracket close divided by bracket open 1000 into 2 exponential 5 bracket close is equal to. This will also give you the answer 0.15 and the answer will be in mm. Now the 30 kilonewton force is a pushing force, so there will be decrease in length. So in the bracket write down decreases. Then let us come to the bar CD. For the bar CD, delta L3 will be equal to P3 into L3 divided by AE. Now P3, now see here the force acting on the CD force is 10 kilonewton. So P is 10 into 10 raised to 3. Here I am converting it into Newton. Then the length is 1200 mm. So L3 1200 divided by area is 1000 and E is 2 into 10 raised to 5. Put the bracket in the numerator and denominator and then do the calculations. Start from here. Bracket open, 10 exponential 3 into 1200 bracket close divided by bracket open 1000 into 2 exponential 5 bracket close is equal to. This will give you the answer 0.06 mm, and here this on CD this 10 kilonewton is again a pushing force, so there will be decrease in length, so 0.06 mm and decreases. This is how we calculate delta L1, delta L2 and delta L3. Now the total change in length of the bar will be delta L is equal to delta L1 plus delta L2 plus delta L3. Now here what is important is when there is increase in length of the bar, we will take it as positive. When there is decrease in the length of the bar, we will take it as negative. So first delta L1 will be taken as positive and it will be 0.15. Then delta L2, it decreases, so we will take it as negative minus 0.15. Delta L3, again it is decreasing, so again it will be taken as minus 0.06 is equal to, you will get the answer minus 0.06 mm. Minus means decreases, and if I am writing in the bracket decreases, then I need not show the minus sign. Sometimes in the exam, students show the minus sign so small that it looks like a dot. So it is always better that in the bracket you mention it very clearly that decreases, and if you write decreases, you need not give the minus sign, because minus sign is just the indication that there is decrease in the length of the bar. So the total change in the length of the bar delta L is equal to 0.06 mm and decreases. Here if I do the total, that is 50, 80, 20 and 10, that if I do the sigma fx, then this 50 is in the negative x direction, so it is taken as minus 50. This is in positive x direction, so it is taken as plus 10. This is again in the negative x direction, so minus 20. This is again in the negative x direction, so minus 10, and this total should come 0. If it is not coming 0 in the exam, then this free body diagram will not, these figures 50, 30, 20 and 10 will not match. And if there is some printing mistake and if it is not coming, solve the problem halfway and say that there is a mistake in the problem and go ahead. Let us come to the next type of a problem. Now here a bar of uniform 12 mm diameter is subjected to an axial pull as shown in figure. Find the total change in length of bar and force P. Take E is equal to 2 into 10 raised to 5 Newton per mm square. Now the forces are here as they are shown. Here the first, what we do when we get such problem is first draw 3 blocks AB, BC and CD separately, so that we can, this is the free body diagram for AB, BC and CD, and then show the forces. Now the force at A given is 5 kilonewton. So let us first show the force of 5 kilonewton as it is given. 5 kilonewton and it is now tensile. Now if 5 kilonewton pulling force is acting here, here also a pulling force of 5 kilonewton must act at B, then only this AB will be in equilibrium. So at B, let us show a pulling force of 5 kilonewton. This is a pulling force and the magnitude is 5 kilonewton. So now our AB is in equilibrium. Now come here, this is a 9 kilonewton force in the positive x direction. Here I have shown 5 kilonewton. So 9 minus 5 balance is 4. So and here at B, this point, I will show a 4 kilonewton force in the positive x direction. So here 4 kilonewton positive x direction. So now what is happening? This 5 plus 4 total 9. So this 9 is matching. So this is how you have to balance here. The 5 plus 4, this is also in positive x, this is also positive x. So 5 plus 4 in the positive x direction, total force is 9 kilonewton. So this is how we balance. Now this 4 kilonewton is a compressive force at B, pushing force. So another balancing force of 4 kilonewton must act at C. Then only the body will be in equilibrium. The BC will be in equilibrium. So this is a pushing force and 4 kilonewton. So 4 kilonewton at C and this B, they balance each other and BC is in equilibrium. Now let us show this force 2 kilonewton at D here as it is given. So 2 kilonewton force and this is a pushing force. So now for CD to be in equilibrium, here a pushing force again of 2 kilonewton must act. Then only CD will be in equilibrium. So here I am showing a pushing force of 2 kilonewton. So now my CD is in equilibrium. These two and these two, they balance each other and CD is in equilibrium. Now see here, this 4 kilonewton is acting in the negative x direction. This 2 is acting in the positive x direction. So this we will consider minus 4, this is plus 2. Total will be minus 2. So this force here will act in the negative x direction, and this P will become equal to 2 kilonewton. This minus 4 plus 2 will give us minus 2, and minus means in the negative x direction. So here again you can do sigma fx is equal to 0. So this 5 in negative x direction minus 5, this 9 in positive x direction plus 9, P in negative x direction minus P, this is again in negative minus 2. If you solve this, you will get 9 minus 5 minus 2 is equal to 2 kilonewton, and it is in the negative x direction. So the direction is like this. Or at C, if you want P, how will you do? This P will be equal to, this is minus 4 and this is plus 2. So minus 4 plus 2 minus 2 kilonewton. Minus sign just indicates it is in the negative x direction. Now the area, the bar diameter is uniform from A to D, and bar diameter given is 12. So area will be pi by 4 D square. So pi divided by 4 into 12 square. If you do, you will get the area 113.097, and if I do the rounding, it will be 113.1 mm square. If this third decimal is greater than 5, then we increase 1 here and we don't write this third decimal. So if I increase 9 plus 1 will become 10, that is 1 here. So I will be considering for the further calculation area as 113.1 mm square. Now for the bar AB, delta L1 will be P1 into L1 divided by AE. Now P is 5 kilonewton tensile. So 5 into 10 raised to 3, that is in Newton. Length given is 800 mm. So into 800 divided by area is 113.1 into E given is 2 into 10 raised to 5. So substitute the value 2 into 10 raised to 5. Now here take the calculators in your hand and start pressing the button. Bracket open, 5 exponential 3 into 800 bracket close divided by bracket open 113.1 into 2 exponential 5 bracket close is equal to, you will get here the answer as 0.177. Now this 5 kilonewton is a tensile force, so there will be increase in length, so delta L1 increases. Then let us do the calculation for bar BC. Delta L2 is equal to P2 into L2 divided by AE. Substitute the value. Now P is 4 kilonewton, so 4 into 10 raised to 3, convert it into Newton. Length of the BC given is 1200, so 1200 divided by area 113.1, and E is 2 into 10 raised to 5. Put the bracket in the numerator and the denominator and then start doing the calculation. Take the calculators in your hand, start it. Bracket open, 4 exponential 3 into 1200 bracket close divided by bracket open 113.1 into 2 exponential 5 bracket close is equal to, check, are you getting the answer? 0.121 mm. Now this 4 kilonewton is a pushing force, compressive force, so there will be decrease in length, so write down in the bracket decreases. Then let us come to the CD. The bar CD, delta L3 will be P3 into L3 divided by AE. Now the force acting on the CD here is 2 kilonewton, convert it into Newton, 2 into 10 raised to 3. Length of the bar CD is 1000 here, substitute it as 1000, area is 113.1 and E is 2 into 10 raised to 5. Put the bracket in the numerator, put the bracket in the denominator, and take the calculators in your hand and start pressing the buttons from here. Bracket open, 2 in exponential 3 into 1 0 0 0 bracket close divided by bracket open 1 1 3.1 into 2 exponential 5 bracket close is equal to, now check the answer. Are you getting 0.088 mm? And again, see here, this 2 kilonewton force is again a pushing force, a compressive force. So there will be decrease in length. So in the bracket, write down decreases. Then let us calculate the total change in length of the bar. Delta L is equal to delta L1 plus delta L2 plus delta L3. Now delta L1 is increasing, so we will take it as plus 0.177. It is plus, so I am not writing anything here. Then delta L2 is decreasing, so minus 0.212. Delta L3 is again decreasing, so minus 0.088 is equal to, here you will get minus 0.123 mm, which means decreases. So if I am writing in the bracket decreases, I need not write the show the minus sign. So I'm not showing the minus sign, I'm writing 0.123 mm decreases. And it is always better that you very clearly write in the bracket whether the length is decreasing or increasing. So the final answer, the total change in length of bar delta L is equal to 0.123 mm decreases. Let us come to next problem. Here I am giving the next assignment number 4, and here all the problems are of type 1. Question number 1, a copper bar shown in figure 1 is subjected to a tensile load of 30 kilonewton. Determine the total elongation of bar if E is equal to 100 gigapascal. Also find maximum stress induced, and here I am giving the answer. This is the total delta L 0.33 and increases, and this is the maximum stress. And for maximum stress, what you have to do is consider the bar diameter, which is minimum, and consider that area and calculate it. And this is delta L1, delta L2 and delta L3. Then the next question number 2, a copper bar 900 mm long and circular in section. It consists of 200 mm long bar of 40 mm diameter, 500 mm long bar of 15 mm diameter and 200 mm long bar of 30 mm diameter. If the bar is subjected to a tensile load of 60 kilonewton, find total extension of the bar. Take E is equal to 100 GPa. The answer here I am giving it as 1.963 mm increases, and this is delta L1, delta L2 and delta L3. Try it out. Then question number 3, a steel rod is subjected to an axial load of 50 kilonewton. The total length of the rod is 4 meter. First 1 meter has a diameter 32 mm. Second 1 meter has diameter 28 mm. The remaining part has diameter 25 mm. If Young's modulus of material is 2.1 into 10 raised to 5 Newton per mm square, find the elongation of the rod. Answer is 1.653 mm, and this is delta L1, delta L2 and delta L3. Try it. Question number 4, a circular bar of 500 mm length has first 100 mm of diameter 12 mm, second 200 mm has diameter 20 mm and last 200 mm has diameter of 30 mm. Determine the maximum axial pull which the bar is subjected to if the maximum stress is limited to 100 Newton per mm square. Find the total elongation of the bar. Take E is equal to 2.1 into 10 raised to 5 Newton per mm square. Here the answer is P is equal to, this is 11.3 kilonewton. It is given in Newton. Delta L is equal to 0.097 mm increases. This is delta L1, delta L2 and delta L3. Now here the maximum stress is given. So what you have to do is consider the bar of minimum diameter. So the bar diameter minimum 12 is here. So take the area of this 12 mm bar and in this 12 mm the stress given is 100, and find out the P, and the same P you use it for the full length of the bar 500 mm. So for this 100 mm also the same P, for this second part 200 mm also the same this P, and the last 200 mm bar also P is this, and with this P calculate the delta L1, delta L2 and delta L3, and then calculate the total delta L. This is how you have to solve the problem. Be a master. Thank you.